Market, are you saying?
Market.
Huh? What's that? Harvester. Tractor the trailer.
This one could be a good one.
This posy.
Purple.
Oh,
Wow.
cows milking.
Cow's milking.
This.
All right. Uh-huh.
From the hat.
Yeah.
Is there in a hat?
From this.
I heard with all the chickens.
Oh, Oscar! No. What's this one? A forklift! Happy birthday to you!
Forklifts are in the shed.
Forklift.
Forklift. You've got your forklift. Yeah, your new one. Nana and Grandad bought you that forklift, didn't they?
Yes.
Yes.
Digger. Front loader.
A digger and a front loader.
Yeah.
Digger.
Digger. Shake.
Morning, guys. I thought today I would film, excuse the fact that I'm not looking at you, but I'm driving, clearly. I thought I'd film a day in the life. So today is Oscar's second birthday. It is the 22nd of July, 2019. He is 2 today. And I thought, for memory's sake, and because I'd filmed one of these kind of day in the life videos a while back and it went down really well, I thought I'd film another one. Now, they are a bit of a mission to film like your entire day, but I thought, you know, hey, we can do it. So anyway, today's actually a fairly normal day, despite the fact it's Oscar's birthday. Obviously it's special for that reason, but we're not going to be doing anything too out of the ordinary because he's already kind of celebrated his birthday for like over a week. So we had visitors with us last week, so we did loads of fun stuff, and then over the weekend we went down to Jamie's, my husband's family, and we had the big kind of birthday party. So he's had all of that, and then it's Monday today, so we've just got back from Kerry and we're back in Cork now, and it's Oscar's birthday. So as you will have seen, he spent the morning opening his presents and playing with his presents, and now we've just dropped my husband to work and we are going to go for a swim. You're going to go swimming? Yeah. So this is fairly normal for us now. So this is kind of like normal routine. It is raining today, which is really unfortunate because I had big plans that maybe we'd go to a farm, but I wasn't too hung up on it because obviously he's done so much recently. But but it's raining, isn't it, Oscar, today? So that wouldn't be too fun. Raining, yeah. So Oscar got a balance bike, you would have seen. We bought him a balance bike for his birthday. So my hope is that we're going to go for a swim at the gym, and then when we come out of the gym, depending on timing and Oscar's nap, he tends to nap between 11 and go down for his nap between 11 and 12. So depending on how long we spend at the pool, we might head to the park, which is right by the gym, and take Oscar's new bike for a spin, but obviously that'll be weather dependent. So that's kind of our morning planned out, and then Oscar will go for his nap, and then this afternoon, to be honest, depending on the weather, we'll probably just have an afternoon at home. Oscar's going to help me cook his birthday dinner, and yeah, we'll kind of play it by ear. If the weather picks up, we might head out and do some bike riding if we haven't managed to do that this morning. So anyway, I thought I would take you along for our day, Oscar's 2nd birthday, and I really hope you enjoy it. And here we go.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by, doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown.
Close the door. You have to turn you around first. So we have just been to the pool for a swim, and I've just realised that's probably not very interesting because I don't really film anything in the pool. But my hair is looking fabulous now. If it wasn't this morning, I don't remember if I told you, but I lost my hairbrush over the weekend, and then we found it last minute before we left the house. It is drizzly rain, and anybody who has frizzy hair like me, you just dread the drizzly rain. So yeah, I'm looking a mess, no makeup, hair's a mess, but you know, this is real life. I'm just going to stick you here. So anyway, we've just come out of the pool, and it has actually stopped raining, but I asked Oscar if he wanted to go to the park and to ride his bike, and he said no, he wanted to get in the car and go home. So, you know, I play it by ear with him. I've got no, I guess I do have an agenda. Park, do you want to go to the park? I think we might maybe just sit in the car for a minute while he has his snack, and then see if he changes his mind. He's just having his pancake. So yeah, I kind of work it that I kind of have a rough idea of what we can do in the day. You will have seen on the way to the pool, Oscar mentioned about his library books, and we haven't been for a couple of weeks because we've had visitors, and that he wanted to go to the library. So we might do that this afternoon now because he asked to do that. And yeah, you know, I'm a stay-at-home mum. We don't have any plans as such, and so if he wants to go to the park or not go to the park, no big deal to me. We can go home, we can just play. He really likes to play independently, so you know. Park. We go to the park. Do you want to ride your bike?
Yeah.
Bike. Yeah. He's saying yes now. So okay, we'll do a snack and we're just going to head to the park then. Want to hop on? Might have to let go of that rock. Will I hold on to it? Okay. Okay. That's it. Sit down then. It is, that's your bike. Sit down. Sit. And then you're going to go along with it. Yeah. Why?
No.
You don't want to go?
No.
Where's that then?
Oh.
Oh. You want to just go in the park, do you? You want to go play? I'll take your helmet off then. Come here then. We'll have another go later, will we? Yeah, I can do it.
What?
I need to just look up.
Oh.
What's that? Oh, there's a truck over there. Is that more fun? going? Whoa! Make yourself dizzy.
No. Bumping.
It's bumpy, that's the fun bit, isn't it? It's a bit bumpy. Ready? Here we go.
No.
I'm going to help you. That's it. I just wanted to quickly talk, because I've just had a little incident there, about manners with your children. So I never force Oscar to say please or thank you, you know, or insist on the magic word before I give him anything. And what I do, I just model, you know, how to use that language as with any...
Lady.
Thank you, lady. Yeah, we said thank you, lady, didn't we? Well, I didn't say thank you, lady, I said thank you. And then he hears that language and he hears it in context and he naturally now does it. So we were just getting into the car there at the gym and there was the lady next door was trying to get into her car, and she could obviously see that I had a child and I was trying to get him in, and she just kind of said, oh, I'll get out of your way and let you get in and get off. And so I said thank you, and you know, got into the car. And then when I got into the car, Oscar said thank you, lady. You know, he's hearing me use the language in context and then he is replicating it, and he's now just got his digger. He's in the back with his pancake, and he's got his diggers as well, and he's digging the pancake, and then the digger's giving him the pancake, and he's just said thank you, digger. So yeah, I think that's how I kind of work manners. Like I think it's important to have manners, and I think we respect people a lot more who are polite, and it's just a nice thing to be. So I do think it's important, but I think the way that we teach our children manners needs to be through modelling and not through it being almost like a punishment. I think anything when it comes through is like a punishment. So, you know, you don't get it unless you say the magic word. I think it's just not useful. So, you know, just to model when you use please and when you say thank you, and they pick up on it like anything. They hear what you're saying and they want to do what you're doing, and so it's the best way, I think. Oh, there's the birds. Bye, birds. Where's Richard then, Oscar?
Nick.
There's Nick. How useful is this tray? So this is the tray from the diggers that my mum and dad got Oscar. But like, this is like the perfect tinker tray. Like, he's never going to keep the diggers in here. So people always ask me where I get my trays from for like puzzles and things. It's the Melissa and Doug toys. They always come in these lovely wooden trays. It's a nice tray, isn't it, Oscar? You can put all our little bits in there. It fits in there, yeah. So I was using this one, which is like an old cutlery tray, up here, but it actually didn't fit, and we had to kind of have it up like this. But this one fits perfect. We put our rocks in. You collected these rocks at the weekend, didn't you, on the beach? Put those ones in, and these big ones in there. Will that one fit in?
No.
Maybe it'll go like this. There we go.
Don't cook.
You can put it in your dumper truck, and then we can put our rings. And we can put our shells. People. Some more rocks. That's cool. So there. It's nice to have a little selection of loose parts out, so you know, if they're in a containment schema or transporting schema, that they have things that they can use. So I will repurpose this one for something else. Oh, I've caught your toes. So we are now back from the park and the pool, and Oscar had a little bit of downtime when he got back, and we read some stories, and then he went down for his nap. So his nap time is normally between 11 and 12. Today it was more like 12. Got back and he said he wasn't interested in sleep, and he tends to be like that. If he doesn't end up getting to the point of falling asleep in the car and he stays awake, he almost needs like decompression time when he gets home, just to chill before he goes for his nap time. And then when we go upstairs, he sits on his potty, and I read him a story while he's sat there, and then once he's done, he gets up and goes into bed, and we finish the story and possibly read a second story depending on the length of the first one. And then he's pretty good. I leave a book in there with him, and he kind of sits and looks through it, and then obviously it's dark in there, so it's limited light, and then he goes to sleep pretty quick for his nap time. And he'll probably sleep for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours depending on how busy his morning was. And that gives me a chance to go, and I've done my face, sorted my hair out, and I'm now probably going to cook off the meatballs for our dinner tonight, and then when he's up and we've had our lunch, he can help me make the rest of it. I'm going to do a bit of work. I also need to do a bit of sorting out of washing and make our lunch. And then by the time he's up, we kind of sit and eat our lunch, because he has quite a few snacks during the morning, as you will have seen. He had his porridge, and then he had a banana whilst we were getting changed at the swimming. And then in the car, he had his pancake and raisins and goji berries. And so that kind of fills him up for the morning, and then he eats his lunch when he wakes up. And yeah, and then this afternoon, I'll check with him again what he wants to do this afternoon. But at this stage, we are going to the library. So you have to excuse the washing machine in the background, but here's our lunch today. So Oscar and I are having just boiled eggs. I chop like the top of mine off, but for him, I literally just like cut it in half. So it looks like he has two, but it's actually just one chopped in half. It's just easier for him to get in there and not eat any shell. I do tend to peel like the very top edge of the shell away. That makes it a bit easier. And then he's got avocado on toast, and he's got tomatoes because he's absolutely loving tomatoes at the moment. I've got 2 eggs, 1 piece of avocado on toast, and 1 with butter. You have a nice nap, or you got your book? Turn the owl off.
Mommy, hold this.
I'll hold this. We going downstairs? Did you want to tuck Lumi in?
Yeah.
Give her big kisses. Big kiss. Bye, Lumi. Did you have a nice nap? Yep. Do you want some lunch? I've got your book, it's here. Toast and eggs.
Egg.
Orange. Oh, Oscar's egg.
Egg.
Orange egg. Yeah? Here, you do this. Birds. So we are just sitting down to have lunch now, and just to keep it real, this is now the second attempt we have had at sitting down to have lunch. Now, Oscar, when he wakes up from his nap, depending on how his nap has gone, depends on his mood the minute he wakes up, and sometimes it takes him half an hour to kind of get back to himself, and that half an hour can be tricky on some days, and it can result in meltdowns, which we've just had one. I didn't film it because I just don't feel that that's something I need to film, but I thought I would just go over stop filming him. I'd just go over what happened and what I did. Okay, so as you saw, today's lunch consists of boiled eggs, an avocado on toast, and Oscar's also got tomatoes. And so when he came down from his nap, I put him in, well, I asked him if he wanted a lunch, and he said yes. Told him that what we were having, put him up in the chair, he looked at it, and he was pleased. And then he picked up his avocado and toast. I actually thought I was filming it, but I wasn't. You know, I wouldn't have shown it, but it's sometimes quite good to look back on to see what was the trigger. And so I'm just thinking what happened was that he tried to dip his toast into his egg, and it wasn't dippy enough, basically. So he went to try and do it, and it was fairly solid, so it wasn't doing what he expected it to do. So he reacted in a way that showed his emotion, so that was devastating to him. Of course, as an adult, we'd be thinking, you know, that's not the end of the world. And I think this is when it's really important to understand it from the child's perspective, that in this instance, Oscar's just showing how much he, you know, from what he expects to happen. And if it doesn't happen, that's a shock to him, and, you know, that is the end of the world to him. You know, it's not doing what it should do. And so he reacts accordingly. Now, he doesn't have any control over his emotions at this stage, and I think it's really important. I'll put a really good article, I'll try and find one in the description box, about the child's brain. So our children, their brain isn't actually fully formed, and I think that's what some people forget when we're talking about toddlers, and they label them as in their terrible twos or throwing a tantrum. It's really not. It's just they have no other way to let out their big emotions but to melt down. And through melting down, through the tears are full of cortisol, that stress hormone. They literally have to cry out their emotions. And that's how they get rid of it. And then they calm down and they begin again. And I think through the process, it's so important to see it from the child's perspective. So I just was really, really calm. He was pushing the plate away, and I said, do you want me to take it away? Then he was throwing his bibs. And so I just took it all away, and I let him feel those emotions. I was really calm. I stayed close by. I, at times, kind of would say, I can see you're really upset. Your lunch has made you really upset. And then he was kind of confused between whether he wanted his lunch or not wanted his lunch. And it's you can see he's just overwhelmed by emotion. And I think the whole process took maybe 15-20 minutes. And at that point then, throughout it, I would keep saying to him, did you want me to bring back your lunch? And he was saying that he wasn't ready for it. So I think, as much as it probably would have been really useful for you to see, I'm not prepared to put that kind of thing on YouTube, and of course on a day in the life on Oscar's birthday. But these things happen, and this is a world that we're living in with our children, and this is how they react, because, like I say, their brain isn't actually capable of reacting to things in the way an adult does. Our brain is now fully formed. I think after 21, I think they say now that it's fully formed. And so we are able to deal with our emotions in different ways, and we don't need to necessarily cry, and we don't need to scream. But for a toddler, they do, and that is the way that they relieve themselves of that emotion of when something wasn't how they expected it to be. Yes, it was trivial to an adult, but it is not trivial to our children. So I think that's really important to see. So anyway, we're going to continue with lunch now, and then we'll see how the afternoon pans out. So I am just about to make dinner. I'm going to get it prepped well in advance tonight. We're doing meatballs and pasta because it's Oscar's birthday and he loves that. And so I've asked him if he wants to join me to prep the food. And at this stage he said no, he's playing with his new toys. And so I don't force it, of course. And if he comes and joins me, his stool is right here. And yeah, he can come and cut cut and chop or be involved as much as he wants to be, so we'll see. Do you do the crushing? Yeah? Nice?
Yeah.
I'm going to do some garlic. Garlic.
Oh, this,
Yeah?
oh,
Onion.
onion, this,
Yeah, garlic.
yeah.
So the first thing we're going to put in is a carton of tomato passata. You're going to put that into our NutriBullet cup.
I'm really going to say.
It's going to go in there, yeah. I've just got to cut the top off. Mind your fingers. Okay. Right, let's leave that for a second. You're going to pour this in. That's it. In it goes. Pour. Okay, all done.
No.
Now we're going to put in some vegetables.
Hey, no.
Woohoo! Now we just use, this is like cheat sauce. I use Mediterranean vegetables that have basically been cooked, and they've just been cooked with a bit of olive oil, basil, salt, garlic powder and black pepper, and so it's kind of cheats version. So Oscar, will you put some of these in? Leave the garlic for now, we've done the garlic. Will you put these in here?
No,
That's it. You can do a big handful, like this. Like this. Plop. That's it. Plop. Plop. Don't put your fingers in, babe. We don't have fingers covered in sauce yet. Yeah. We need to put it all in there. Yep. Push. There's a tomato. So a good tip for cooking with kids is not to have a time pressure, because here you go. That's it. Because obviously they do things a lot slower, which is fine. In they go. So this has peppers, onion, aubergine and courgette. That was an aubergine, that one. Right, that might be enough actually. What do you think? Right, where does it go now?
In there.
Yeah. And then what's it going to do?
Huh?
Is it going to go loud?
Yeah.
Ready? Oh, we have to turn it on. So these knives are, I think what they call a lettuce knife. So they're plastic knives, so they're not going to cut your child, but they're great for practicing because they're actually like sharp enough to cut through like vegetables and things. So Oscar started with the crinkle cutter, so he was just kind of doing the push motion, and now he's learning to kind of do the forwards and back motion. Let's cut off the stalk first. And so these allow him to practice that without fear of being cut. Forwards and back, Forwards and back. That's it. Forwards and back, forwards and back. So I am now, I've just cooked dinner, as you can see, and I'm now emptying the dishwasher, and I need to put the load of washing out on the rack to dry. And I often get asked, how do I get stuff done in the day? And Oscar is now playing independently, so he's come and joined me, and now he's happy to go off and play independently. So I will try and do some covert footage for you without trying to disrupt him too much out of his flow. I think that's really important. So at the moment there's no music on, as much as I'd like to have some music on, but it's just peaceful for him. You can probably hear him running about, grabbing stuff, and he's obviously got a plan. So I will try and show you what he is up to. We are back in the car now and heading for the library. As you've seen, we've kind of prepped dinner already, so that's all ready for us when we get home. And Oscar was still going on about our library books this afternoon, so we're still going to the library. He needed a few hours downtime though, so as you would have seen, he kind of did a lot of independent play, helped me out making some of the dinner, but had a bit of a chill time. And I think his meltdown after his nap kind of shows that he's a little bit overwhelmed, I think, with the whole birthday thing. I think that happens a lot with kids. It's very overstimulating, and so a couple of hours this afternoon just chilling out and playing by himself and with no kind of time schedule has really helped him out, and so he's very pleased to be heading to the library now. It's helped him pack the books up, and he's currently reading a book in the back of the car. And so yeah, we're going to head to the library, drop the books off, and I'm not too bothered if we don't actually get that many books. We normally get about 20, but where it's been his birthday, he's had a little influx of new books anyway, so we don't actually need to get any library books out, but if he sees something that he is interested in, then we'll get it. But yeah, normally we get about 20, so I maybe, a couple would be fine. So we're going to do that, then pick my husband up from work. He's actually going to manage to finish a little bit earlier today so that we can all have dinner together. So normally he tends to not be home for dinner, but I always eat with Oscar because I think that's really good for him, and he sees modelling of how to eat and use cutlery, etc, etc. So I always prioritise eating with him, and then my husband kind of eats when he gets home. And so yeah, so today, because it's his birthday, my husband's managed to be able to finish a little bit earlier so that we can all have dinner together and then cake. So yeah, this is our afternoon, evening routine now. Okay, this way. Push. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Oscar. Happy birthday to you. Blow it out, babe.
Blow.
Blow. That's it, you're doing it. Bit stronger. That's it. Yay!
Well done, Oscar. Who is that?
It's Colin.
It's Colin.
Part of Colin.
Eat this. Does it smell nice? It smells nice. And it smells. No, it's not moist at all.
Oh, isn't it? Oh, thank you.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by. It doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown. When I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I am whole again? Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone. Feeling is all gone. Feeling is all gone. If I could take you back to my youth,